Anna, I'm making you the presenter. Looking forward to hearing your voice and welcoming you back to our community. You were one of the most popular interviews that we've had since we started F.A.C.E.
Hi, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Anna. Welcome back.
Great.
Welcome
Hi, Dale.
back, my friend. So, Anna, you know, before we get to the markets, it was interesting. I interviewed Shy Girl Tracy yesterday, and you know, she had told me some of the experiences that, you know, us men have kind of like thick heads and we don't get it. That, you know, besides the business being difficult for all people, that there's, you know, some gender things that she had to overcome. And, you know, that is expressed in your handle. You probably are a female trader _trader. Did you have face those things in what used to be an old boys club and, you know, being a trader and a market and an analyst in the markets that you had some glass ceiling issues in your career?
No, not really.
Oh, good.
I never really had any of these problems, but I can understand that women would be reluctant to go into the industry. And
Why?
when I was trading, when I started trading for myself, I had great ideas about maybe helping women out to trade, and that's why I put the handle there. But reality is that I don't really have any time to do that. So.
All right. Well, you know, people were really looking forward to you coming back, and put me in that category too. The last interview was outstanding, and you were so right. You know, you're right. You know, $13,000 per contract to go in the euro when you liked it down there. So we had a little Fed action yesterday. I'm wondering where your head's at now after we've had this great move to the upside and what you're seeing here now.
So euro, I don't know, guys, what's your problem with the euro? We had a massive candle yesterday. That we're not going straight down is because people are just recently, as we all know, the market has not been particularly responding to fundamentals as it should. So naturally, people are wary, especially because they've been trying to short euro for so long. But to me, this looks like this has stopped. I mean, at least for a move to 16 handles or 1690, something like that. So okay. I'm still short. I took a little bit off yesterday, but for me, I wouldn't get worried until we see a 4-hour or daily close above 1925. I wouldn't really worry. I think this is just a small normal pullback. Right. But if you don't have any open position, would I short it here? I don't think so. I mean, I was shorting it up there and taking some off and then reshorting it. But to me, it's going down. It's stopped, and same for the dollar. So am I saying euro is going back to 105? Absolutely not. That's also why I think people are a bit hesitant, because they don't see the big move that it can provide. But it doesn't mean it's just gonna cause some pain on the short side. Same for dollar CAD. I mean, am I saying that it should go all the way up to 135? Absolutely not. But can it easily squeeze to 125 without anything fundamental happening? Absolutely.
Yeah, so these are just normal retrace correction moves that you think yesterday was a pretty good signal for that to manifest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we sit on it, and tomorrow we should get some follow through. Maybe Monday, as long as it doesn't start going over like 1930.
What do you think the possibilities are if we start getting that 4-hour close back over 1930? Just a deeper retracement?
A bit annoying. I mean, then it's going to go probably to 120 to 1995, just to annoy everyone. But I really don't see it making new highs before it's going to break 118 here.
Okay. Yeah, so it kind of looks like that head and shoulders, and a lot of people will get on it under 1840. That's a neckline, so that's the direction you're leaning on. I don't want to fade you, Anna.
Because the bonds front run this Fed basically, right?
Right.
They were moving first. They are the ones who moved first. So now everyone's looking, oh, why are the bonds not keeping the thing going? But they already moved, and there is many other things that impact the bonds. It's not just this Fed, right?
Well, how about the curve on it though, Anna? Because yesterday, the shorter end of the curve was much more damaged than the long end, and actually like TLT closed higher. Do you follow yield curves, and do they mean anything to you?
I look at it a bit, but I'm not gonna base my, like, I was short ZBs and I got out because it's just a bit overdone, and they have not capitulated yesterday, let's say, as they should have. So let them be. I mean, I don't know what's, it's probably positioning, right? And also, as I believe we are due for some risk off in equities, whatever it may cause. I'm not saying North Korea is going to bomb anyone or anything like that, but we are due for some risk off, and people will say no, but just look at this. NQ, for me, this is a wedge, right? You see the screen? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so the NASDAQ looks like, and it's been demonstrating some more relative weakness to S&Ps in the last few days. So is this your preferred short in indices? And because I know last time you were looking at DAX, and
I'm short the DAX as well. Yeah,
okay,
I'm short.
Because all the U.S. indices were making record highs, where things like FTSE and DAX were making lower highs.
Yeah, basically, I mean, that time when we last spoke, DAX was at 2750 from what I remember, and it topped first, and it started moving lower, partly due to Euro, and DAX was leading, but it doesn't mean DAX is going to lead now. I think now we have Apple weakness, we might see NQ actually leading. I'll get to the DAX in a second, but basically, I keep hearing the same reasons for this rally that were there in April, May, basically that money managers are not fully invested, and they are praying, everyone is begging for this 5-10% pullback, and then they're going to buy everything they have. This same story people keep telling all year. So what I think is, since we didn't have the 5-10% pullback in the S&P, say, it's basically these people are now realized recently they're going to get fired year end if they haven't bought anything or not performing in line with S&P.
Right. So, oh yeah, there was a hedge fund actually, some very famous hedge funds lately that have closed not because of redemptions, not because they lost money, but one fund was only up 1%. So they're being fired when the market's up, 10-15% on the year. So so your point well taken. So how do they make up for performance? So you think they're coming in now and then?
So I think as in the summer, in the August, we didn't have that pullback. So this recent move up in S&P and the increase in commercial positioning, I think people have not seen the pullback, and they have been adding, and they've been adding. And are they going to get paid for this? Not necessarily. I mean, the world is not fair. The market can just turn around here and go down when all these people have been pushed into it.
Okay. So do you think if we break that wedge, that we could retest, it looks like maybe the June lows that we had, where you have a moving average coming in?
Yeah, I think we go 5,750 at least.
Okay, at least. And if we get through there, your gold
we
channel
go
line.
5,600.
Okay. All right. Nice look, Anna. That's classic 3 drive to a top formation in my work.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, where am I wrong? If we start having daily close above this above the wedge, not above the horizontal, but above the wedge, yeah, then I'm wrong, and then we can rip on. But usually, when it's about to break out, we do it from a horizontal, so the level is relatively horizontal, and then we barge through it. But this wedging thing,
pearl. Yeah.
This wedge has been going on for so long, and people are just slowly putting money and putting. I mean, I just see it moving lower. Then, of course, I don't know what happens. We'll have to see how it acts as it goes lower. But I definitely wouldn't be buying here, and I like the risk reward of a short. I like it's becoming easier for me to be short than, let's say, somewhere here earlier in the year.
Yeah, because you've watched momentum wane, et cetera, and maybe this is a big distribution pattern. And you know what, Anna? It takes time to turn around a battleship, doesn't it?
Well, especially big turns. I mean, you need time to create the structure, but otherwise you're not going to get a big sell-off. You're just going to get this little annoying things.
Okay. Any commodities on your radar screen? Crude's been acting pretty good.
I mean, for now I'm flat. I'm short copper. I'm short copper. I took half off. Where's copper? I'm sorry. Just because not being complicated is credit creation falling in China. This massive candle here, great, flows through the 20 moving average. I sold some on the pullback, took half off, and then letting the rest run.
Yeah, it kind of lines up. Copper blew off while the market was still going up. All bull markets are roofed in copper. Maybe this is, well, it kind of ties in with your look for a correction in the indices, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the DAX, I mean, I am shorted here. I realize that it could basically above 26.40 on the future. I'll abandon it.
Mm-hmm.
But here I think definitely a pullback into 23.5 is on the cards.
Okay, so that's actually looking a little better than the NASDAQ. So you're not looking at for as much there. How about the FTSE, Anna? I mean, that's been I was schooled that London always led our markets, and the FTSE has rolled over pretty good. I mean, it hasn't made a new high for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
to me, it looks like a weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, if you're going to express a view on the FTSE, you are expressing a view on this Brexit situation, and I'm just there is too much uncertainty about how this Brexit is going to go. I generally don't know. I mean, I can have an opinion, but I don't think it's a tradable opinion.
Okay. Right? Although if you covered up the title of what it was and you just looked at the chart, you would have to admit, compared to almost everything out there, it's the weak sister. Excuse me using a female gender on that, but it's the weak sister.
Absolutely. But the thing is that I don't know if cable is going to hold up here as well.
You know, I wanted to ask you about that because, you know, we made new highs in cable yesterday, and it was a non-confirmation in my view. I'm actually maybe looking for one more push in cable to the upside as possible. Where's your head at cable? Tougher call than euro, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think we are not done testing here. So this 36 area is going to be, I agree with you, it's going to be retested. But do I think it's going to go higher than that? I'm not sure unless we get someone coming out and saying, okay, second referendum on the shape of the deal, new elections, some kind of shake-up that calls this whole Brexit into doubt. I don't see it going much higher, to be honest.
I'd be curious about your view on U.S. dollar yen. I mean, The bottom
Oh, yeah.
came out of nowhere. It was a tremendous move. So if you're looking for a correction in NASDAQ, we should be looking for a pullback in US dollar yen, don't you think? A little risk off here? If
Yeah, so my
NASDAQ
yen
cycle-
chart is this. It's
Yeah.
gonna, I'm looking for a turn now, and if it's not
Yeah.
gonna turn now, it's gonna turn here. So
Okay.
here, basically, it's already kind of turning. If we
Yeah.
have a close below this 200-day moving average today,
Yeah.
bearish, sell it.
Yeah. So you gave me more conviction because that's what I was talking about at the opening of our webinar today. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting one.
I bring you on for selfish reasons for my own trading. So that because you know what, I don't like, if I got to see your work every day, I wouldn't want to be on the opposite side of the market of you, Anna. And, that shows by, I'm getting great
Stop
Twitter
flattering me, Dale.
response.
I don't like it. I don't like it when people flatter me.
You don't like being complimented?
No, not in trading.
Okay. All right. Well,
It's okay, but
okay.
I try to keep my zen and my stoic stance and not get overly excited and.
Okay. Well, you're so balanced. It threw me off balance. So thank you for sharing your views. Anything else on the radar screen that you'd like to share? And
what else?
We've covered a lot of ground in a short period of time because you get right to the point. So I'm wondering, that's not a compliment, that's just a fact. So anything else that you're looking at, maybe any of the yen crosses?
I don't like all these other crosses, to be honest. I like simple products.
Okay.
And I mean, sometimes I'll look at them, but I'm not gonna go out and give my opinion on things I haven't looked at recently.
Bearish gold, and
gold, well, I wouldn't sell it here after it dropped a load, but I wouldn't buy it either.
Okay.
It's hawkish Fed. I mean, gold, what is it doing? I have to see what it does here. Basically, is it going to bounce or not? And then maybe I need to see some kind of price action there.
Right. Do you think that if you get a break in, most people are going to think that if you're right about risk off in the market, that would buoy gold. But that's not necessarily the case, is it? They could go down together.
Of course, everything can go down together. Bonds, gold, stocks, oil. Right. It's possible. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, like a whiff of deflation. So how about the oil? A lot of the bears are thrown in the towel now. Now that
oil, where is it? Oh yeah, okay. So it's basically in between these two areas. I'm not interested. There's a chop zone, like 49 and a bit, and 51. I mean, I'm not seeing
no
anything.
Man's land. Yeah, no man's land.
Convincing to do anything. If it pushes higher and then fails, I'll short it. Yeah, structurally, I wouldn't buy it up here or even here. I mean, I might buy it way down somewhere if it reverses, but I mean, still fundamentally bearish oil, right?
Okay. And Aussie almost made new recovery highs and then failed after the Fed.
Aussie is going further down. We all hope and pray for some recovery. I mean, I intraday shorted it yesterday on the Fed. I got out, didn't get back in because I thought we might get a bit more pullback. Now I'm waiting for a pullback to get in. Okay. But yeah, it looks bearish. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's an annoying little time now that nothing is really properly moving, led by equities. So when vol is this low, people start getting a bit depressed. And I mean, your options are, what are your options? You can trade crypto, you can shorten your time frame of what you trade with the risk of being chopped up, or you just sit it out and do very little. So
are you trading crypto, Anna?
You know what? I looked at it. I did a couple of trades. Right now, I have nothing on it. because I'm just too busy. I need to look at it properly, and I need to see some extremes, and I'm not really seeing it.
How were your executions on your trades?
What do you mean? Oh,
I mean, were they good fills? Did you throw market orders in?
Liquidity is pretty crap, right? But I mean, it is what you expect with
right.
the move doing, and it's a new product and stuff. But it's definitely gonna be more interesting. But it's just so many things one can actively look at. But yeah, if vol stays like this or gets worse, then yeah, we'll all be looking at crypto soon, I tell you.
Okay. So all right. So you see it as an alternative to fiat currencies. It's here to stay. It's just which one and in what form will you be able to trade it? But you think this is a trend that's only going to be entrenched and expand?
It's not going to go away. I mean, the thing is, when I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually do an Ethereum bond, and yeah, then that thing is going to go much higher. I was long a bit of Ethereum, and then I got out, but I might buy it again soon.
Yeah, China can't stop it, in other words, and Jamie Dimon's wrong.
No.
Okay.
But what is going to be the leader? What is going to be the cryptocurrency that's going to be used? It's very tricky, because the governments can make it much easier to use whatever. They can enforce usage of whatever cryptocurrency they want you to use by making it much more acceptable.
Right. Right.
So the government issue is a bit tricky, but it's here to stay. So clearly, a lot of them are going to go to zero.
Okay. Yeah, kind of. I kind of use the .com analogy. Even though the .com was a bust, out of the ashes came the leaders that we have today. So a lot of them went away, but it set the stage for things like Google, etc.
I mean, do I want to read up on blockchain and all this stuff? Do I want to get all this extra knowledge in my head? Probably not, but I kind of have to.
Yeah, I know. They'll have to drag me kicking and screaming too.
Yep.
So basically, let me try and summarize what you've said. We have a rising wedge, in NASDAQ looking for a correction. The Johnny-come-latelys are in the market now, ready for a shakeout. Euro looks
this thing doesn't mean anything. You can just puke straight through it.
Right. Okay. And Euro looking for lower, maybe down towards 117, 116. And it's not the end of the Euro uptrend, it's just a correction. Canada could get to 125. That still could be just a bear market rally. Looking for spots to short Aussie, and the yen could be topping today. So you really edified the community. And
I'm yen either one more push up and then exhaustion, or collapse and then close bearish and then just short it.
Okay. So Anna, the only way people could follow you is on Twitter, or is there any other location?
Just Twitter.
Okay. So I want to thank you for coming back. You got a lot of views last time. I bet you got another great response, and you gave me some ideas today. And I appreciate it. So thank you very much, Anna, for coming back. And maybe we could do this again, towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. And always appreciate you taking your time. And I'll hold back compliments next time. I don't want you to lose your zen.
Thank you.
All right. That's Anna Kogan. That's Anna Kogan Nasser, and a lot of people thanking you for being here, Anna. Good hunting. I hope pips rain down on you till we speak again. And that's it for us, F.A.C.E. Have a great day. Tomorrow's your last day of summer. Enjoy it. And above all, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks again, Anna.
Thank you.
Okay, and don't forget, guys, October 2nd, Blake and Steve's and Celios' special end. So click the link, and someone even loves you here, Anna.
Oh, yeah.
Pierre. That was the name of my poodle. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a poodle named Pierre when I was a kid. I know you love animals. All right. See everyone tomorrow. Adios. All right. Bye-bye. Great interview. Great session. Everyone have a good session. Yeah. Thanks for taking it in stride, Pierre. Kevin, see you. Martin, Manny, Arvinder. Anna, it's @female_trader. Is that correct?
No, it's a female trader.
A female.
I don't even know my female trader A here.
All right. There it is. And with an A. Okay. Yeah. And there's Anna with what is that? A cheetah?
It's a cheetah.
Oh wow, they're pretty fast, huh?
Indeed.
All right. There you go, guys. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Thanks once again, Anna. Adios.
Bye.